In this video, we're going to be using Zaharoff Signature Royale and the Supply 2.0 single edge razor. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And as mentioned today, we're going to be using two sort of crossover products, or products that I think can attract folks who just aren't in the niche aspect of our hobby. And we're going to be using Zaharoff Signature Royale, which is very similar in scent to this one, which you see right here, the original Zaharoff Signature. You see the difference in the labels there. Scent-wise, they're both excellent. They describe this one as being a little more bright, fresh, maybe a little more youthful, some citrus in it. I'll show you how they describe the soap right there. This is not an inexpensive soap. It is $29 for 4 ounces, and that comes to $7.25 on our price chart, which is a painfully pricey soap, but you're paying for this magnificent fragrance, and magnificent it is. How much different is it from this? To my untrained nose, it's not all that different. It does seem a little fresher, maybe a little more citrusy, but if you already have this one and you're on a budget, do you need this one? No. If you absolutely love this one and you want to get something that just ever so slightly different, then maybe you go for this one, because it is a beautiful fragrance. The scent on it, for me, it's about at least in strength 6 to 7, so it's definitely medium plus. I would call it really beautiful fragrance, very reminiscent of this one. In fact, to my untrained nose, it's really hard to tell a lot of difference. So again, if you're budget minded and you already have this one, it's probably not necessary. But if you love it and you want more of the same, maybe plus, then you might want to consider this one. Now, I must admit, I am a little concerned about the lathering on this one, because typically what I do is I will fill this entire center with soap and spread it out. And I've done that 3 times, and it generated no lather whatsoever using a damp brush. I've got a lot of the soap in the brush, so I'm going to apply some more to my face and hope it'll work up, but it's just kind of, the brush just completely ate it. And this is a synthetic brush that I've used many times. I've never had that happen before, but no matter how much I worked this, it just went nowhere. So I'm a little bit concerned about that, honestly. Let's show you the ingredients. There's a ton of ingredients in this soap, and that might be good or bad depending on your perspective, but I'm a little concerned about the lathering, and I'm probably going to put some on my face. I've already used 3 times the soap that I would normally use, so that is not a good sign. And I did not have that problem with the original, and it's the same base, so I'm not sure what's going on there, or if it's just me. I mean, it could be. All right, let's get to the razor. The razor is the Supply. This is the 2.0 single edge razor, which uses injector style blades. Very shiny, as you can see there. So if you're worried about fingerprints, you may want to have a microfiber cloth on hand. Other single edge razors you might have seen, or injector razors specifically. Here's a Schick Type E, and here is your Supply. Now, the one thing I like about the Supply razor is it does come with different plates for different levels of aggression, if you want to call it that. I have the 3 dot, and they come in 3 different varieties. You see the dot right there? That is 1, which means it's the mildest. Then they have another one that's called Comfortable, 2 dot, and then they have the one they call Ultra Close, 3 dot, which I have here, which is supposedly the most efficient. And I like that you can unscrew this plate and take it off and clean the razor and take the blade out. Now, maybe Supply doesn't recommend that, I don't know. But in these razors, once you put a blade in, it's in until you finish using it. I really don't like that, because it can lend itself to rust and so on. So for me, that's an advantage of this razor, being able to take that part out, take the plate off, take the blade out, let it air dry, clean your razor. I like that a lot. This is quite heavy at 3.2 ounces. By comparison, this one is 1.1 ounce. So this one is a heavy rascal. This is made of alloy. Comes to you for about 75 bucks, which is not inexpensive. It does come with a lifetime guarantee. And then as you read further, it says 100-year guarantee. So 100 years or lifetime, whichever you want to consider it. Again, this uses injector blades, and it comes with some blades. And the way injectors are loaded is you put it in the razor, kind of like so. Let's turn it around for you. And then you inject, you press this mechanism, and it shoots a blade out in two the razor and it pushes the old one out, and that's the way you load. And so we look forward to using this today. This is one of those razors that has done a lot of marketing. It's been on Shark Tank. It's been on television shows and magazines. And again, it's a crossover sort of product where people who use modern gear might happen into our traditionalist hobby side of the things. I think that is quite valuable. And this is my first time ever using the Supply SE 2.0. I just never, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of injector razors. I like them. I don't love them. Again, it's just, there's no reason because they work perfectly well. They're just not my thing. And we have our standard 24 hours of growth. Let's mist the face. And then I'm going to just scoop some of this soap out and put it directly on my face because I am very concerned about lathering problems here today. And I lathered this soap the same way I lathered the original version. And I don't know, I'm just not getting, nothing is happening on the lather. And so I don't know if it's just me or, you know, I always hold the possibility maybe I'm doing something wrong, but as you can see there, you know, I've used now 4 or 5 times the amount of soaps that I usually use every day with every other soap. And you've seen me use a ton of soaps here over the years. So let's see if we can get something going here because my bowl lathering just was not working out. Let me get some more moisture in this brush. I was just not happy with how it was producing lather, but it seems to be doing much better here. Face lathering. This is the first time this has ever happened to me where I use my normal method. Well, actually it's the second time. I had it with another product, but I just wasn't getting a great lather, but it's coming along now. So I'm not sure why it didn't come along in the bowl. Again, I do the same thing every single day and there's almost no soap that doesn't respond to it by putting, you know, like a 1/2 to 3/4 of a teaspoon, let's say, in the bowl. And this one is definitely low structure. In other words, it's not going to burst into lather. But as you can see there, you know, it does lather. It's a little on the thin side still. And I have used a lot of soap, so I'm not sure why this one, I've had more problems with it than the original. I did not have this issue with the original, so I don't know what it is, to be honest. I'm stumped. But this will be enough to get going. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. So I can tell you what, on the scent basis, no problem whatsoever. This is a phenomenal soap in terms of scent. On the lather aspect, it's kind of thrown me for a bit of a loop, which is kind of unusual. You don't see that very often here. In fact, you've seen it very few times ever. And, you know, who knows why, but it is definitely hydrated. You can see a good sheen on. It's thin though. It is quite thin. So I don't know what to make of that, to be honest with you. All right, let's see how this feels. That feels pretty good. 3-dot, which is its most efficient setting. And honestly, even there, I don't think you get a ton of blade feel. I can feel some blade feel, but I like the way that's shaving. I like it a lot. That's really better than expected. The opinions on this razor have been all over the map. Some people love it. Some people don't like it at all. But I think it's doing a great job. And the soap there is definitely slick enough. I mean, it did not make a show lather, but it's certainly slick enough. But I am a little bit concerned about it. And just because, you know, as I was mentioning before, you've seen me lather thousands of times or over 1,000 times, let's put it that way, over the years. And you rarely see this where I struggle. And I did not struggle with the other one, so I'm not sure what happened today. But it does not yield the type of lather, or did not today yield the type of lather that I'm accustomed to. But I will say the scent is phenomenal. Again, I'd call it maybe a little more light and fresh than the original Zaharoff signature. And I do like that partnership. I like that they're bringing a professional fragrance that is well known into our hobby, and that's going to bring more people. You know, there'll be fragrance people who will see these soaps and say, hey, let's shave with that. And maybe they'll Google it and start seeing these traditional shaving videos and sort of come down the rabbit hole with us. So I think it's excellent. And that is the same thing that this razor will do too, because it is marketed out there quite a bit. And so people who aren't in the hobby aspect might find us by picking up this razor. So first pass with the razor, very, very good. The soap, in terms of the lathering, I am not thrilled with it. I'm not going to lie, but I am going to caveat that it could be me, but I have used enough soap in here that honestly, I could make tons of lather with any other soap. I mean, I could make a sink full of lather with the amount of soap that I've used. So maybe it just requires more soap. It is very soft. Also, it's definitely what I would call, for the folks who call it low structure, meaning, you know, it's not bursting into lather, but I refuse to use more soap because I've used like 4 to 5 times the amount of soap that I would normally use. And again, I don't recall having this issue with the original. You know, there's some lather there, but I would like a little more volume. And I typically don't like to scrub my face this much, but I'm needing to. So I don't know what to make of it, quite frankly. But, you know, we'll press on. We'll press on. And this is going to be on the thin side once again, but it will be very slick. It is slick, but I don't know where we went wrong today, but I'm going to accept some of the responsibility. But I'm also saying that when you've lathered soaps and the variety soaps that I have over the years, and something like this happens, it is very abnormal. And I'm open to the possibility that it's me, but most soaps, this is a rare thing. So I don't know. The fragrance, I am very pleased with it. But the way the soap is behaving for me today, or maybe the way I lathered it, I mean, again, I'm accepting some responsibility, but I know right now I can pull out any of my other soaps, any of the other hundreds that are probably in there, and boom, it'll just explode. And this one, I have really had to jump through hoops, which I typically do not like to do. So I don't know if there's something, this is the same base as the original. I am just stumped. And I don't really like to have to scrub my face this much. So what I expected to be a very luxurious and fun process today has not been as fun as I would like, because this lather is just not, I'm disappointed with both myself and the soap. And I think it's probably the soap and I have not been in agreement. The razor, I'm really liking. I'm really liking it. And honestly, I'm liking it far more than I thought I would. Again, this is $75, lifetime warranty or 100 years for the original owner. I really like it. And I love the fact that you can take that plate off and, you know, clean the razor if you like, or let that blade air out, because, you know, it's tough to leave these things together. And the possibility for rust is always there if it's in a humid environment. The 3-plate for me is right on time. I still don't find it to be crazy aggressive. I'd still call it about medium, even on the 3-plate for me. But again, you know, I've been using a lot of straight razors and shavettes, so my aggression meter is probably a little bit broken. But I can tell you right now, the amount of scrubbing that I've had to do on my face due to the soap, I can feel it. I can feel my face fatigued, and I'm not happy with that at all. And so maybe I'll have to experiment with this, but I've used 4 to 5 times the soap that I would normally use. I am not happy with that. And so, but again, it's not so much that I'm going to say stay away from this soap, because I'm open to the possibility that it's me. But usually I'm not having to work my face over like this just to get a little bit of lather. And maybe I'm running into the problem that some other people have, because I know the dude of shaving was very displeased with the Cardinal base. and I believe also a couple other people that I talked to. And today it has happened to me, and I just don't know why. I'm looking for more volume. I'm not getting it. It is slick, I'll give it that, but me having to go through these hoops and gyrations, I am not happy with that at all. I am very happy with the fragrance, the soap. Again, I'm accepting some responsibility, but if you've done this as many times, and especially done this on video, you've seen the lathers day in and out. And I really worked on that bowl. I mean, I loaded the entire middle part. I did the same thing, very damp brush, not too much water, nothing. Added another second level, nothing. And I brought it to my face now. You saw me smear some on my face, and the brush was already loaded with quite a bit of soap. And this is a synthetic knot. It does not eat lather. So I don't know what's going on here, but I tell you right now, I'm gonna have to revisit this at some point, because this will be slick enough, but I am just not happy with the lather. I really expected to have, I thought this was going to be an incredibly joyful, let's put it that way, luxury shave. And you can tell right now I'm kind of discombobulated. I'm messing my words up, and because this has thrown me for a bit of a loop, and you rarely see that. And for the price at $7.25 an ounce, I'm just not happy with it. I am happy with the razor, and I am 100% satisfied with the scent on this soap. It's phenomenal, but I don't know if something has happened to this soap. Maybe it's got hot or cold, but I tell you what, it's just not the lather for this soap that I have here. It's just hard to come by. It's super thin. It is slick. It is holding some water, so it's allowing me to shave, but this was nothing like I expected it to be. So very, very disappointed. But I'm reluctant to totally blame the soap, because, you know, maybe I'll try it some more off cam and see if I can finesse it into something. But if I have to do that, I usually don't want it. So I must admit, based on my experience today, this has made me very leery of this Cardinal base, based on the way that I lather my water in my situation here. But it didn't happen with the original, so I don't have any, presumably the same exact ingredients. And look how thin that is. That is pathetic. Let's add a little more. Wow, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Chalk this one up to just weird, you know, Twilight Zone sort of episode. I really expected this video to go differently. Singing praises of a wonderful soap and a crossover product that people will come to the hobby, and all I can say is I'm loving the razor. I'm loving the scent. I am not loving that soap at all. In fact, I am very disappointed. But I'm trying to remain open to the fact that maybe it's something that's happened to the soap. I just don't know. And it's went longer because I've spent so much time being bewildered that I really haven't done a very good job of talking about this razor. Magnificent fragrance here, and George Zaharoff, I think, is a very nice gentleman, and his fragrances are just phenomenal. So I'm very happy about the scent, but boy, the soap, it has left something to be desired today. Wow. Huh. I don't know. Okay. Let me rinse, and then we'll come back, get into the post, and we'll apply some of the Zaharoff aftershave. And I know I'm going to be happy with that, so stay tuned. All right, and we're back, and this is much needed today. The Magic Made by Witches, the Stayer's Witch Hazel, to sort of ease some of that. My face just feels fatigued from all that scrubbing. I don't like to do that. My face isn't used to it. And honestly, I am quite disappointed in the way that we performed with the soap today. It was not good. I'm not gonna lie. It was slick. The volume wasn't there. It had some good residual slickness, so slick enough for a shave. But because I had to work so hard, I don't know where the soap went. It just disappeared. And again, I've used 4 to 5 times the amount of soap I use with every other soap. And you see it here daily, how great these inexpensive soaps work. And today, this just was not good. And the fragrance, phenomenal. But boy, I don't know if something happened to this soap. It got hot, it got cold, it lost some of its mojo, but I'm very skeptical now of that particular base. Although it has worked for me in the past, I just don't know what went wrong. And so I'm bummed out. The razor, however, Supply SE 2.0, this is the polished copper, magnificent injector razor. If you've never tried an injector razor and you want to try one, this would be a good one to try. It comes with 3 different plates, so you can sort of adjust that to meet the level of efficiency you want. I really liked it, and I'm going to do a better job of talking about this razor in a video to come, because today that soap just completely ruined everything. So let's see if we can salvage this shave with the Splash, which is the original. This is fantastic stuff. It smells great. It lasts all day. This stands for something. Like, this is good stuff for real. But boy, that soap today was I did not enjoy it. And so we'll have to maybe revisit. I don't know what went awry, but it's completely got me stumped. And you rarely see this, but the soap today, we just didn't do a good job with it, and maybe we'll revisit, but I just don't have those problems, so what can you do? Anyway, I'm going to stop babbling on. We'll revisit the razor and this later, because this one was just, this was a... It's that simple. All right, thanks everybody for joining me. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll do a much better job, I promise. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.